My work is inspired by my love for the North Wales countryside and where I grew up. The colours that I choose for the enamel are often moody hues of greys, blues and greens, which I take straight from the old slate paths and rainy fog-filled days on the mountains. I like to layer darker colours up with hues of pinks, purples and rich warm yellows, which are all around if you're looking closely enough. Hi, I'm Becca. I'm a Welsh jeweller and maker, primarily working in enamel and silver. I've always been interested in objects. I collected things when I was little, and I come from a crafty family, and I always liked working with my hands. I did my degree at the University of Brighton in 3D design and craft. I got to study in South Korea as part of my degree, and they had a really good silversmithing course, and I was very envious of the different things that they were making and the hammer rooms with all the stakes. I then became a web designer, and I missed the physical making of objects. This is my workshop at Bishopsland, where I've been for the past 2 years. I share a workshop with 10 other makers, and it's a really great space to work. The energy and the liveliness is something that I really like about it. The collection, which is a Welsh word for pathways, is named after the many walks around the mountains, a reminder of all the walks I've taken over the years. So North Wales really does hold a lot of inspiration for me. Slate was everywhere. I grew up in an old slate exporting village, so the beaches and the surrounding woodlands is still full of all the remnants. I always have on my bench some slate drawings or photos that I've taken as a little reminder of home. So my work tends to start as a combination of collages, combining the outlines of rock shapes with watercolours, often in abstract patterns, which I then layer on photos that I've taken. I outline the shapes of these photos then on transparent paper, and this allows me to play around with the layouts and form ideas I have, and I like to do this before going on to any metal making. I enjoy using a lot of different techniques in my work, and it often starts with engraving. I like to add texture and depth using repetitive marks with my gravers. The enameling process is something that I really enjoy. I like to experiment with it quite a bit. It reminds me of watercolouring in that you can really layer it up and make some interesting combinations through using both transparent and opaque enamels, which creates really moody and atmospheric pieces. I treat the metal like paper. It is a time-consuming process, but I really love the effect at the end. Another material that I often use in my work is Welsh slate. My Llwybrau Llechi box is inlaid with a layer of crushed Welsh slate. I decided to crush up the slate with a pestle mortar, so it's then combined with jasmonite, and I've inlaid it flush on the inside of the box. You can't actually tell what's on the inside of the box, and then on the inside there's that little surprise. So the engraving on the box is a repeated pattern which goes all the way around in a pathway that you can follow along, and it emulates the shape of the box. I definitely have a little story behind all of the pieces, especially the enamelled pieces. They tend to come from one particular image and one particular place that I've been myself, so they're quite personal. I'd like to appeal to people who like a story behind the work.